Guess what? It's Wednesday, and that means it's time for In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama. We'll have lots of fun. See ya. Well, howdy and good afternoon. Welcome to another edition of In the Kitchen with Miss Paula Harmonica Mama. And today we're going to be making Memaw's cheese crackers, and that is another recipe out of our family book. There's a story behind these cheese crackers. Memaw used to make cheese straws, and these taste very similar to cheese straws. And Mom used to say, when she helped Memaw make them, Memaw would always fuss at her for not getting the straws the right length. But after Memaw learned this recipe, she didn't make cheese straws anymore. She just made these cheese crackers. Normally when I make these, I put part of my ingredients and I leave it out for an hour or two, or sometimes even overnight, but I kind of wanted to demo some of the stuff that goes in it, so I didn't do that. And these are really very, very simple. And I need to double check my oven temp because I need to preheat my oven. And that's 350, so I'll get that going here. All right, so what's going to go in this is 2 sticks of butter. It's kind of 2. It's 2 sticks of butter. You actually put in 2 cups of cheese, but it's 1 cup of shredded sharp cheddar cheese and 1 cup of extra sharp cheddar cheese. And that's hard to say. Extra sharp cheddar cheese. 2 cups of flour, and then we will add 3 cups of crushed crispy rice cereal, and then a couple of dashes of Tabasco sauce. Now, another thing about Memaw was she was always kind of sneaky about giving recipes. And she wrote this and she never told anybody she put in Tabasco sauce. But when I rewrote the recipe and put it in our cookbook, I put in the Tabasco sauce. Okay, so I have the extra sharp cheddar cheese here, and we're going to put in a cup of it. That didn't lock. I thought I had it locked. There we go. I don't think it's quite got a cup yet. I got pretty close. These are always a big hit and kind of a requirement at family gatherings, which I'm getting ready to have. I meant to say that earlier. We are celebrating Old Christmas, and normally that would be, like I said before, the 6th of January, but we have people that work, so we're not going to do it until Saturday. And this is one of the things I'm making. And then we're going to do our just plain sharp cheddar cheese. I kind of like this thing. Someone commented last time I used it, they have an electric one. I thought, well, that's pretty cool too. I need just a smidge more. Alrighty. So I have that in there. I'm going to set this cheese aside. Put it in a bag later and save it for another time. All right, so I'm putting them in this really pretty bowl. So I've got the cheese in there now. And to that, I'm going to add 2 sticks of butter. And like I said, this is something you could also do ahead of time. And then I'm going to put in, I already measured the flour, 2 cups of flour. So now, I'm just going to squish it around until it forms kind of a ball. So what it's going to do is going to kind of look like pie crust. There we go. We were at 350, so that's a good thing. And maybe you could come and go over my shoulder so they can see how I mix this.
There we go.
Alrighty. And you see, I'm just using both hands. It's starting to get to where it's going to be a ball. These are really quite tasty, although I've had some trouble sometimes with folks thinking, and you'll understand why when I say this in a little bit when we start rolling them out, or squishing them out, is that they think they're peanut butter cookies. Okay, so can we just pause or stop for a minute, and I'll get my hands washed off a little. Alrighty, so our next task is to crush up the Rice Krispies, and it takes 3 cups of Rice Krispies. Or crispy rice. Whoops. Whew. That could have been a disaster. Here's the way to put that away. And let it work it a little bit. Get some air out. Okay, I'm just going to use my trusty marble rolling pin here. I want to crush, but not totally dust. So you see they're about at that consistency. ones, so we'll have a fresh up there. Okay. And this is what the dough looks like now. See, it's kind of like a pie crust almost. But I'm going to add the Rice Krispies to it. We'll get those mixed up in there really nice. Kind of kneaded in there. And I'm just going to put that much Tabasco sauce in. And yes, I'll wash my hands really good after I do this because I don't want to be sticking Tabasco sauce in my eye or in my mouth. Okay, we are ready to go here. Now what we're going to do is we'll put them on the cookie sheet, and I'm going to pinch off a little bit of dough and roll it about like that. I'm wondering, yeah, he's over there yawning already, and he's had a nap.
I know, that's,
It's crazy weather. Well, it started out at what, 27 today and got up to 60?
it was somewhat sunny earlier, but it's very cloudy now.
Yeah. Have a bit of a, what my grandparents, my mom, parents used to call it a January thaw. Get a little bit hopeful for spring, and then it gets cold again. And I did most of my growing up in Illinois, so it didn't really get very spring until late April. My sister was always a little bit jealous because, well, we were usually on vacation on my birthday in August. And my brother got to have outside parties because his birthday's in June and her birthday's in March, so she always had to have an inside party. I can only remember 2 birthdays when I was home. One when I was like 6, and maybe when I was like 12 or 13, something like that. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to press these down like you do for peanut butter cookies. And here's a cool trick I found. I think Memaw told me about it. Is to stick the fork in ice water. You press them down, and I usually could do 2. I must have some crumbs from the Rice Krispies on the counter there. You can hear it kind of crunching. So this is why some people have thought that they were peanut butter cookies, and then they were surprised when they tasted it that it was cheesy. So Ever since that happened, I always try to make sure people know that these are cheese crackers. They're not peanut butter. Okay, so I'm going to stick these in a 350 oven, and I'm going to start out at 8 minutes, but it's like between 8 and 10 minutes. And of course, you know how ovens are differently regulated, so we'll just see. Alexa, set a 10-minute timer, and we'll pause in the interim. Okay, Alexa said our 10 minutes is up. I'm going to take the smell done. I'm going to look underneath here real quick though, because sometimes, especially the first batch, yeah, I really do believe they need about maybe a couple of minutes longer. So we'll pause again and we'll be right back with you. Okay, take 2. That does look better. They're a little bit more brown around the edges there. Yeah, okay. So they're not too brown. Oh, I need that. We're going to walk over to my other counter and I'm going to scoop them off on a rack and let them cool. And we will, actually I've got a couple of more cookie sheets full to put in the oven there. I'm going to let these cool for a little bit before we take a taste of them. So we'll be right back with you. Okay, so here they are. They are all ready to taste. I've got a few more cooling on racks, and I know that that the family will enjoy them. I was headed to one family gathering, and we were running just a little bit late because we got behind a wreck. We were headed to cross lanes. I got was it a call? Call. Yeah, like, how far out are you? We've got a bunch of cheese cracker addicts here that are chomping at the bit to get a cheese cracker. Okay.
Right. My favorite part of this. Perfect.
Nice and tasty.
Y'all try it.
Mm-hmm.
It's really nice.
It is yummy.
Yeah, it is.
So we will see you next time, and have a good rest of your week, and tune in next week. Don't forget to share, comment, and subscribe. We'll see you later. Bye-bye.
Bye.